Andrew Bolt, right-wing commentator, says the government must change or die. Is there a problem with the way this government is going at the moment?
Well, the budget clearly haven't got through everything they want to get through, so for anyone that's a problem because you need the money to do the things that you have committed to doing. Who's at fault in that? Really, that's not for me to say. You know, just not for me. I'm not the arbiter of who hasn't done a good enough job or not. They haven't sold the policies well enough to get them through the Parliament, and that's a problem. Clearly, that's a problem.
I reckon you have a cracking opinion on who's to blame, actually.
Well, bear in mind, look, let me speak in generalities.
All right, now we're getting
I've been
Since you're not a party spokesman anymore, could you speak in specifics?
I'll go back to when I was a minister and when I had some really tough decisions to implement. And I'll tell you what you generally find, this is human nature, largely. I don't think it's just in politics. I think it's in business, it's everywhere. That when you're the one that's got the tough stuff to do, don't look around and expect too many of your colleagues to be behind you. You'll be left out like a shag on a rock.
Do you have the same thing we have? The taxes are passed on to those.
You mean the right to carry arms?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, why don't you do something about that?
That I disagree. Why don't I do something about that? I like that. That's a politician. Well, that's a very general question.
Take it up as an issue.
That was a little joke. We haven't got time for that.
Is everybody in Australia, including the corporations, paying their fair share of taxes? Because in America, our largest corporations pay very little taxes. In fact, Mr. Murdoch pays, I think, 7% on the billions that he makes. And that's where, if you have a shortfall, you raise the GST or you raise petrol tax and it goes to individuals. What happens to the people who can really afford it? They'll say, oh no, capitalism is the engine that drives the economy forward, that creates the jobs. You can't tax us. But of course, if you don't, then you don't have a country.